All right, and welcome back to another episode of A Distinguished Conversation. Thank you, Marcos. That's precisely what we needed.
You're welcome.
Our resident drummer.
All right, well, as I was saying, welcome back, folks, to another exciting episode. To the right of me, I have my
co-host Caleb.
Caleb's here.
I'm back. Ooh, again.
He's alive.
He's back. He's back from the Bahamas.
I feel like I was back for a day and then I left again. So
yeah, pretty much.
yeah. And then to my right, we have Cass, our very special guest. And then just to the right of her.
Yeah, that's Marcos to the right of me.
Yeah, Marcos.
Yeah, but I'm not the guest. Hi.
Yeah, hi, Cass.
Hi. I've never been a guest.
Welcome.
I don't really know what to do.
Our guest. No,
Tell us about
actually,
yourself.
we
What
should-
do you got going on?
questions?
What's
No,
like
I
your...
thought you guys were supposed to prepare. What are the
Who
questions?
are you?
Yeah, that's...
We prepared?
You
Did we
think I
prepare
know?
anything? I don't think we prepared anything.
I mean,
Every morning I wake up and I'm just like, who am I? I don't
Every
know.
morning I
that's
act
called
like
schizophrenia.
act like Patrick Bateman. I wake up, I do a skin routine with the monologue playing in the background. That's who I am.
Okay, well that's not me.
So who are you then?
I feel like it's about to get really existential up in here. But I guess I can just say basic shit about myself.
That works.
Can I cuss here? Is that
Yeah.
allowed?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes.
I'll try not to
Freely.
like drop it every other word.
It's okay. It's just a Christian show.
Oh, I don't know why you
Christian
had
is a
me
very
as a
loose
guest.
term.
I was gonna say we rip on Catholics a lot, so I mean,
Oh,
and
well,
Jews.
that's fun. And maybe not the second.
Because we're
one,
Mexican. It runs in our blood
Yeah.
to be Catholic, even though I'm not.
even though you're not.
I'm Irish, so it runs in my blood.
I'm
It's
just
true. He started it.
white, so I went to all the churches.
Be that way.
My name is Kassandra BORVH.
Hi,
I can't
Borv.
seem to let go of Borv now. Even
It's really funny.
even when I go to shows that you guys aren't here, like aren't playing with me, I'm like Bora or Borv, because I think it's so funny, and I got used to people calling me that, so it doesn't even like I kind of like if people say my name right, I'm kind of like disappointed a little bit.
Yeah.
You just accepted it to a point where it's normal.
Yeah, basically. I don't know. I am a musician, I guess. I do that thing. I'm going to Chicago in like a month and a half,
Way cool.
Big
which is
city.
terrifying, but it's gonna be really fun. I'm going to Columbia. I just got my school schedule, and I have like
Columbia.
a ton of cool classes, like audio arts and like the science of sound. It's a physics class. I'm gonna have to do a lot of math, and I wasn't really mentally prepared for that.
It'd be that way.
But I mean, I'll figure it out eventually.
I mean, the whole reason I'm a musician is just because I don't have to count to anything above like 4 most times.
2,
Cap.
3, 4.
So, I mean,
Not anymore.
yeah. Once we get into like that Dave Brubeck stuff where it's like a 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3, or how is it 1 2 3 1 2? I don't know. Take 5. It's
One of those things.
Yeah.
It's that weird time
Rhythms.
sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
Counter
whoa.
rhythms? Is that what it is?
My mind's not mentally prepared.
Polyrhythms?
Polyrhythms.
You guys, the
Well,
music
polyrhythm
industry.
is like feeling one time in a different one, like
Yeah.
4 and 3. Like Brent, where he hit, like, does that pass the goddamn butter thing?
No, I'm talking like when it's like split into like 1 2 1 2 3, and then the next one is like 1 2 3 1 2.
I forgot what that's called.
Yeah, I don't fucking remember.
Somebody call Elbund.
My college degree taught me so much. Obviously.
Obviously.
Yeah, but I'm like kind of working on producing and releasing some music. I just got my new laptop, which
go.
I was working on like GarageBand circa 2015, which is ass. So
Do be that way sometimes.
running into like every technological error possible, just trying to like plug
Yep.
in my bass and record.
Mhm.
And now I have a nice computer and
Be that way.
cool digital audio workstations, which is fun.
Is it-
Oh, it's called Mixed Meter, by the way.
But
Why?
I'm gonna forget that. But thank you for looking it up.
Yeah.
I might remember that at 3 a.m. at some random trivia night somewhere.
I don't know where.
It's called mixed meter.
I don't know where the hell
already
you'd be
forgot.
doing music trivia.
Yeah, that's
nerd.
true. Where am I going to be doing music trivia at 3 a.m.?
Online.
Online, sitting down in my room doing a Sporkle quiz.
Just doing a Kahoot. Just,
Group Kahoot with all the other lonely people out there.
now look at all the lonely people. So,
Shit, honestly, I might join. Like, let me know.
you know, I had Breezy on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and saw Breezy.
Solid Breezy. I heard you name drop me. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I love you a lot.
What was I gonna say? And initially, what I had planned for that episode was I was gonna call another buddy, and we were gonna do Weezer trivia. Because a couple years ago, when I went to one of their shows, they gave us these little packets for like the VIP guest or whatever, and they had Weezer trivia on the back. And I was surprised. I was like, I am a virgin. I know like half of or more than half of this. But then there's other stuff where I didn't know what the dog on the album cover Ratitude. I didn't know that dog had a name. But yeah, it's good
What is it?
stuff.
Most dogs have names.
Most of them, but they're cooler when they don't, because then they're a little mysterious.
Hey, dog. Come here.
That's what Miguel calls his dog.
Doug. Yeah.
Dog.
Doug.
Yeah. Doug. Well, I mean, you could call him Petey, or he responds to either Doug or Pinche pendejo. Vámonos, cabrón. And he just.
I feel like if you say it in the right tone, he'll respond to anything.
Yeah.
I wish he could be in here.
No, we don't, because he'd be wagging everything.
I
all
know,
over.
everything would
This
just go
room
to chaos.
this room would be on fire.
But I
Like,
could
you
use
get in
an
here.
emotional support animal right now.
I like dogs.
Be that way. So that being said, this sounds like a great segue. Caleb, you were gone. Where were you?
Oklahoma for like 2 days.
Bro had to think about it.
Well, I went through a lot of places. Like it was a wild like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I went to Oklahoma for a weekend, had a party with my homies.
Be that way.
Then went from Oklahoma to Dallas. Flew out of Dallas to the Bahamas. Spent a week in the Bahamas. That was really fucking fun.
That's sick.
Super nice. And then came back from the Bahamas, stayed another day in Dallas, and then went straight to El Paso for a family reunion.
Sick.
Be that way.
Yeah.
Dang.
El Paso.
You must be tired.
No.
No?
It was
No.
refreshing.
Really?
So refreshing.
I come back from a vacation and I just feel like I want to be in my bed for 3 days.
I'm the opposite, as I don't want to go home.
Oh.
See,
No, for real.
But you've lived in Kansas your whole life, yeah? Yeah. I
which
feel
is part of the problem. I realized that, when I was traveling, man, Kansas, there's
Sucks.
fucking nothing here. It's like, it used to be like, man, why does everybody think there's nothing to do in Kansas? Like, you just make your own fun. Like, you get there's things to go do. You just got to find it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then I went places and I realized that there's actually things to do.
Yeah, you don't have
Besides
to
drugs.
I mean, yeah, the whole reason Dayton moved to Colorado was there's nothing here. And like he sent me a picture, so
And weed's illegal, so.
yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But so like we walked out. We used to walk out after we closed, and we would have his little vape break, and we would talk and whatnot. And we saw a parking lot in Kansas. He showed me the picture of what his vape breaks look like now, and there's mountains in the back, and there's like a beautiful sunset. It looked like a Thomas Kincaid, Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. You want that scenery when you're destroying your lungs.
oh yeah. The world's a better place. So yeah. So what was any fun stories from the Bahamas?
Yeah. So when we were flying over there, so to get to the island that I stayed on, I didn't stay on Nassau, which is like the big tourist hub.
Of course.
I went to a smaller island called Andros Island, which is where some of my family friends live, which is the whole reason we went there was to go spend some time with them, hang out with them, because I hadn't seen them in like 2 years.
Be that way.
So we flew to Nassau, and from Nassau we got on this little like 2-prop engine plane. There's like 2 rows of seats, maybe like 12 deep, the thing's from like the 70s, and it probably hasn't had any maintenance done on it since the 70s. It was sketchy as fuck.
I bet you felt so safe.
So honestly, I did. The safety briefing for that flight was literally 2 doors in the front, 2 doors in the back, fire extinguisher over here. Buckle your seatbelts. Let's go.
Sick.
Honestly, that's a lot better than having to listen to the whole spiel where they like grab the stuff out of the back of the.
They don't even do that anymore. My flight to El Paso, I flew American on my. I flew American Airlines on my flight to El Paso, and it's a fucking video now.
As the plane's taking off.
Yeah, which I mean
you don't gotta
makes
pay
sense.
attention to that.
But like, I'd rather like have something else up on the screen and then watch the flight attendants, because the flight attendants actually make it fun.
I want to watch the flight attendants for other reasons.
I mean,
all right.
Anyways.
Anywho, but like
Bahamas.
no. So in the Bahamas, I don't think I was sober for an entire day that entire time.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
lovely.
not surprising. It's vacation.
Exactly.
Do you stay hydrated?
I mean, yeah.
Alcohol's hydrating.
Yeah, it's
gonna
liquids.
say,
It's
I've never-
actually dehydrating.
There were
but
liquids in my body at some point.
If you mix vodka in water,
It's like,
technically
it's
it's
like, have you ever heard
hydrating.
of vodka soda? Yeah. Honestly, I don't think I've ever seen you drink anything besides water.
Yeah, because I had to drive after I do this podcast.
Yeah. Not that we drink
In the
anything
back
but water.
roads.
That is
Spicy
true.
water, yes.
Yeah, the back roads. Another thing you don't have to worry about, like literally anywhere else but Kansas. You know, it's great.
Back roads.
No, the entire island of Andros is a back road. There's like one highway that like the max speed is like 50 on.
Ooh.
And then everything else is like dirt roads and like backcountry.
Oh.
It's super pretty, super nice.
But at least they're pretty back roads.
Exactly.
If you get a flat, you're fucked.
Uh-huh.
But I'm
Actually, no, there's a tire shop on the island. I don't think I'd trust those tires, but there's a tire shop there.
They were round and had once been made of rubber.
Yeah.
Who can quote that movie? Comment in the comment section down below. What about the food?
The food was phenomenal. So again, I was away from all the touristy bullshit. So it was authentic
Whoa.
Bahamian food.
Bohemian.
No.
Like Rhapsody.
No, not Bohemian.
Because you were at the Bahamas.
Bahamian.
Nope.
Bahamian.
I got somebody gave me a very stern look on the base that I was staying at when I called it Bohemian, because Bohemian is a former country in Eastern Europe, not Bahamas. So it's either Bahamian or Bahamian,
It'd be that way.
not Bohemian. It hurts my brain, but that's just how it is.
Food of the Bahamas.
So there's do you guys know what conch is? So like the like shellfish. There's like one
Yeah.
episode in SpongeBob where like, you know, that's the only place I'd ever heard of conch before. So they call it conch there, and
Sounds tasty.
yeah, it really is. So it's like the same consistency as like scallops, and they fry it. So it's what they call
At least they cook
like
it.
cracked conch. So
Cracked. What is the crack rate in there?
so cracked means that it's fried, but it's like a spicy, like really crispy like batter.
That sounds so good.
It's super good.
That
Last
actually does
last
sound
week we were
fire.
talking about
For
like
real.
my my whipped potatoes and how I add crack to taste. So that's what I was
Hell
like,
yeah.
how much do you know
How much crack did they add?
Yeah,
Enough.
enough.
Enough to make you
It's-
feel
it's-
good.
That was
It's
the other
Bahamian,
thing
so
that I noticed about the island is
Lots of cocaine.
I looked at.
I mean, probably, but there's a law in the Bahamas that you can't fly after dark because it's a pass-through country for drug runners. So,
That
Yeah.
checks out.
like you have to be, if you want to go anywhere, you have to be up in the air before it's dark. Otherwise, you can't go anywhere.
Dang.
Cool.
So, no late night flights, unfortunately.
Oh shizzle.
Oh shizzle.
That's valid.
The other really cool thing is like, for probably about a half mile offshore, especially at low tide, you can just wade out into the ocean. Like you can walk.
That's pretty far.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I walked out to a sandbank that was in between two islands, and I probably could have walked to the other island.
That's sick.
But
Catch me going.
yeah,
Like,
honestly,
I'm like, bye guys.
I'll be back eventually.
Just skateboarding
When the
to
tide is
another
low
island.
again,
Yeah.
you'll find me.
Dude, for real, that'd be sick though. Just like stand on one island and be like, all right, I'll be back. I'm gonna go walk to that other island real quick.
Through the water like Jesus.
It would take forever, and it would suck because it was like a 2-mile walk. But
Worth it?
maybe,
I guess you'll never know.
unfortunately,
I'll never know until I get to the Bahamas.
Until we do
That
the
one
distinguished
specific spot.
conversation Bahamas special. So
Hey, the other really cool thing is I have a job opportunity in the Bahamas now. Maybe,
Oh.
but potentially,
Go.
potentially,
Get
That's
out of
sick.
here.
theoretically.
That's really sick. Did you get that offer while you were down there?
I started looking when I was down there because
Nice.
they were like, "Oh yeah, we need people to do this, this, and this." So I was like, "Okay,
I feel like I
do
can.
that.
I'll take a look at it. I'll go
Yeah.
get a certification so I can live in the fucking Bahamas."
Yeah.
So
they
That
need-
would be sick.
Do they need music teachers in the Bahamas?
we're all
maybe
going to the
they
Bahamas.
need like
boy.
engineers and like construction workers and that type of thing.
Yeah,
so,
but they also
Oh,
need
me and
music.
Marcos would be
Could be
great
me.
at that.
yeah,
Dude, it's in our blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's
Fair
your
enough.
qualifications?
We're
I'm
two
Look at
amigos.
me.
Mexican.
Look at me,
Yeah.
I'm brown and I'm Mexican. Give me the job.
It's like, this is our gringo. We're the two amigos, and we.
He does the computer stuff. We'll
I'm
do
their
anything
supervisor.
I can vouch for them. They have their certification.
else. He doesn't walk up or right behind you. You're like, don't worry, I've got their papers right here.
Pulls out 2 green Uno cards. He's like, I got them right here.
Reverse cards.
They're like, oh, I'm sorry. We didn't know he was with you.
They're like, they look at you. They're like, oh, sorry, sire.
My liege.
That's sick though. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no, it was a really good time. Super pretty. I have pictures if you guys want to see them. But
Yes.
We should do like a little slideshow for the for the YouTube segment.
perhaps.
That'd be sick.
Little
Little
preview.
slideshow of pictures.
Oh yeah, for the YouTube exclusive.
I mean, you look like you just got back from the Bahamas. With
I
your
always look like I just
surfer
got back
I was
from
shirt.
gonna
Bahamas.
say
I'm
I've
surprised you're not more sunburnt.
I honestly, me too. I got sunburnt in my 2 days that I was in Oklahoma. For some fucking reason, because I spent like 2 hours in a pool without any sunscreen, and I got sunburned.
That's why.
But then I spent the entire like week of the Bahamas without sunscreen, and I didn't get sunburnt. So
That's funny.
I think you're just meant to be there. Maybe that's a sign.
I agree.
The Bahamas are farther from the sun.
yeah. Oh,
That's false. They're actually closer to the
yeah,
sun.
it's all
Much closer.
I don't know, man. I just work here. I'll let you.
That's sick.
All right. So once it,
I'll take it.
just keep going left,
Wow.
left. There
I
you go.
didn't mean to see
I saw
that.
2 shirtless people on Caleb's phone.
Hey, it was somebody took a picture
here.
while I was in El Paso, or not El
That's
Paso, in
so
Oklahoma.
sick.
'Cause we're in the
no,
pool.
this is really beautiful.
That's so pretty. It looks like Assassin's
There's more
Creed Black
rocks
Flag.
than I would have thought.
Yeah. Well, actually, the other really cool. So there's a picture in there of like an outcropping with a cross on it.
Yeah.
It's called Morgan's Bluff. So I'm sure you guys are all very well aware of Captain Morgan,
Yes.
the lovely little rum. So
That's not
there
true.
is a local legend that whenever Captain Morgan, like the actual person, was moored on the island, that's where he would set up his chair every morning with his bottle of rum and his spyglass to watch and see if anybody was coming for him.
Hmm.
So
That's sick.
and from I think I got a panoramic of it, but from that like pier, you can see almost a 180 view like of the ocean around the island.
way cool.
That's so sick.
Yeah. No, these pictures are awesome.
So what you're saying is we gotta do a distinguished conversation Bahamas special.
Perhaps.
I'd be down.
If I
I'm
get a
trying to
job
go
down
to
there,
the
then
Bahamas.
absolutely.
So
Oh, yeah.
if you get a job down there, that means we have to call you every week.
Mm-hmm.
We'll lose audio quality, but
Well,
and
well-
you'll have to pay for it.
Wait.
International.
Not necessarily. So
How does that work? Can you just do it on Wi-Fi?
There's actually like you can do it on Wi-Fi. And then there's a company there called BTC. I think it's like British. Oh yeah, that's my aunt. We went to the Pirate Museum that's in Nassau.
Beheaded.
It was like being gross.
Whoa!
Like, what is
What the fuck?
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I do see that. Yeah.
You can go right if you want to see the Bahamas pictures.
Oh. Yeah, I do want to see the Bahamas. This is a lot that I'm gonna have to put in the.
You don't. I can pick out like 2 pictures that you can put in.
Well, we'll need that one for the. Oh, that is very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So yeah, and then after the Bahamas, I went to El Paso and then spent a bunch of time with my family. I didn't know this, but like all along the Mexican border, they have like
There's
big.
a wall?
Well,
Sorry.
I mean, yeah, massive fucking waste of time because they can just tunnel under it. But whatever. But there is like large letters all along the Mexican border that spell out Mexico, and El Paso has the X.
That's really sick.
Be that way.
Right?
That's cool. I didn't know that either. I mean, to be fair, I haven't been down there, and I haven't been to Mexico since I was 3.
Gotcha.
So
The last time
I
I
wanna
went
go
to
again.
Mexico, I had a gun
I've
in my
never
face.
been. Oh,
Good
Yeah.
times. Oh yeah, your
Did you
cartel
deserve
checkpoint
it?
story.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What?
no.
Have you told that on the podcast?
I don't think I have, but I guess no better time than the present.
Oh yeah.
So a couple years back, the church that my family was going to, they did missions trips to Mexico, and there was like they were going to this one orphanage, and then they kind of stopped going to that orphanage because other churches were like helping them out. So instead of going like once a month, they would go maybe like once every couple months to that one.
yeah.
And they found another orphanage that really needed help, and so we would always go down and just help them out. And then we would also build houses right by the border of Mexico. So you always hear your friend and their story about, oh yeah, I went to Mexico or went to Cancun. That's not Mexico. No, no.
It's the tourist destination.
Yeah, we were at the border, the cartels. What is it, Camargo, I think? Trying to think of, I don't know, I can't remember the towns and all the areas and cities and whatnot. But we came from, I want to say we were building a house this trip. Or were we? Because I remember, like, my big thing was I never went on any of these trips simply due to the fact that the cartel was very present down there.
Mhm.
And so, in my case, I'm lucky. I just get shot, but it's like the women, they get sold and traded and raped and all that. And so,
And all that jazz.
yeah. I don't want to say all that fun stuff because it's a very serious topic,
yeah,
but
it's not really fun.
no, but
And all that horrific, awful, terrible stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but that doesn't roll off the tongue as well. But that being said, we were coming home from either building a house or visiting this no, actually it was the orphanage trip. We were coming home and this truck pulls right in front of us. Talking about Ford F-150s. It was a literal like big old F-150 pulled right in front of us, and they were swerving. So we kind of pull over to the side, us and the van behind us, and out pop out 4 gentlemen, all with multiple guns on them, and they mean business. So they come up to the sides of the vans, and they're pointing guns on the inside, and they're looking around, and they start talking to the driver, who is like he was the head of like the missions department at our church, and they're talking for about 10 minutes, or I just remember like sitting there thinking to myself in the back, I'm gonna be standing at the pearly gates here any second now, yelling at my mom, I told you so. And like I just remember looking out, and this guy, he has like a gun trained at my face. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is why I don't want to come to Mexico. And then I look at the front of our van, and our like the guy in charge of it, and the like head cartel guy, I don't know, the El Jefe, I don't know, the two of them are laughing like old college buddies, and I was like, what the hell is happening? And they just start laughing and like talking and shooting the breeze. And according to like our guy, our driver, he said, oh yeah, no, they said we're with an orphanage, and they're like, oh, you go about your business, you won't have any trouble from us anymore.
Hey, I mean, they can appreciate what you were doing.
Yeah, they got some kind of a conscience, I guess, but
at least they care.
I feel like, like they run neighborhoods and stuff, so they want to know what's going on, within their community, whether or not they're doing it like with good moral intent or not.
They're just like, oh yeah, no, we just have to, they're like, oh, this is just our checks and balances, just checking up on the operations. They're like, yeah, y'all are good to go. But I remember, I actually forgot to mention this. There was a Buick that I can't think of what is it the Encore is like the SUV or the
I think so.
A Buick actually like was driving by and came up right behind us, saw what was happening, literally slammed on the brakes and like hightailed out of there in reverse. It was one of the funniest. Like in the
I mean, shit, I would have too.
Yeah, no,
no, for real.
I remember that was the one tension breaker for me while sitting there, was I just see this Buick and just in reverse. No hesitation.
Not today.
Yeah, like, not again.
I have things to do.
So yeah, that's why I don't go back to Mexico.
That's crazy. I want to go, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Well, we can definitely not do that on a distinguished
that's
conversation.
Crazy. That's totally like dangerous or whatever.
I'll go with you, Marcos.
Yeah, it's like, dang, that's crazy. Where was that, by the way?
Online. I'm already booking my ticket, actually.
Dude, flights. I'm taking the bus.
Yeah, you don't want a flight. You'll get there safely.
Walk.
Yeah.
I'll just walk. I'm going to walk across the border.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll dig from this side.
What happens.
You don't even have to dig, Mike, brother.
No, yeah, there's a footbridge in El Paso. You can just
Can do that, or you could.
But where's the fun in that?
honestly.
You could swim. there's
Could do that.
Yeah.
Have you seen that episode of King of the Hill where they have to get across the border and like Hank Curry's what's his name? Their Asian neighbor. I can't think of what his name is.
I don't know. I didn't watch King
Khan. And like he like has to carry him across the border.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's a great show. I watch it as a nature documentary.
Because that was your life in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, look, the rednecks are out again.
You had to learn about your community
Precisely.
through King of the Hill.
Precisely. You never know. You're like, what's happening here? Oh, he sells propane and propane accessories. That's good to know. All right. Good segue. So, the ramen debate.
Oh boy.
Okay, so
What is the ramen debate exactly?
Ramen. It's this cheap little 39-cent pack of noodles, and it's kind of disgusting. But you're also like, you know what?
No.
It's disgusting.
disgusting.
But
Don't
like,
call
it's,
my sweet pack of sodium disgusting.
Well, hold up now.
You can make it good.
It's
Yeah,
kind of, like you can make it good. What I'm
it's a
saying is
jack
like
of all
the pack,
trades.
the pack by itself, it's kind of this weird, disgusting thing. It's kind of like the Taco Bell. Like it's shitting in love. Like
It
it's
tastes
not
like
good.
salted cardboard. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
but-
great.
Right, it's not good, but you're like,
You
could
love
eat-
it because you're poor.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Precisely.
And then it never goes away. I could have like millions of dollars and you can catch me like making ramen in the kitchen.
You'd probably have your millions of dollars because you saved by only eating ramen.
Hell yeah.
But so, does anyone else have this problem, or am I just weird? But you heat up one pack of ramen and you think that was great, and you still feel hungry, so you heat up a second one, and then you're like, that's too much.
I mean, I
No.
add stuff to my ramen.
I do the
So-
same thing. Like I add like
I'd add an egg. Like I'll add different like spices
I
and
don't do any of
stuff.
that fancy stuff.
Maybe like some ham if I'm feeling like spicy.
I've
I
added
don't know.
ground
Yeah.
beef to ramen before, and it actually wasn't that bad.
I had like some leftover ribs, so I like took all the meat off the ribs and like chopped it up,
Yeah.
and then I put like an egg and all that stuff in it. That was honestly one of the better ramens I've
Vegetables.
ever had.
You can add
Veggies are great.
vegetables. Yeah. No, you can do anything to ramen. It's a little
just-
slut.
Whoa.
Get down and dirty with some ramen.
So that's why you like ramen. Got it.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Naughty girl. Ramen.
So broth or not?
That's the other part of the ramen debate. I don't
Broth
do broth.
or die.
I don't do broth.
Die.
Okay.
I'd say
It's a
light
soup.
broth. Light
It's a
broth.
soup. Like, it's supposed to have broth.
I don't think it's
Right.
a soup.
But it doesn't have to be drowning in broth. I used to make it to where like my noodles would be like floating around in there.
Yeah.
But, like now I'll drain it out to where there's like a little bit of broth in the bottom of the bowl and then call it good.
Okay, but like, if I'm making ramen, like, I want, like, the broth is half of it. You
True.
know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, I want to drink it at the end and, like, feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Yeah.
Because of all the sodium.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I'm gonna do that anyways with all the other high sodium foods I eat, but it's just
Yeah.
it hits different. Like, there's nothing like ramen broth.
Or even like when you go out to like a ramen joint, like it's the noodles,
Yes.
but the entire bowl is full of broth.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's supposed to have a ton of broth, and they spend a lot of time actually, like with traditional ramen, like on the broth itself.
It's like a full day.
I
For
can't
the
say they do that for the packets, but
broth. My
Yeah,
ass don't do
I
that for
will.
the packets.
I just like to imagine that they take like actual broth that somebody made and then they like or not
They,
even
like,
broth, but they take like
dehydrate it?
bones. Yeah, either that or they just take bones and they just like blend it all together so it's like a fine paste, and then they're like, yeah, that's good, and that's how you get the
And
powder.
that's your packets.
Yeah.
Toss some salt
I
in there,
mean,
call
you
it
get
good.
it from like boiling bones and like boiling
Oh, yeah.
meat and adding a ton of stuff, but
Yeah, so you
I don't know
do.
about all that.
So you do. Is it your mirepoix, and then you have your bouquet garni, and then your bones, and that's how you get your.
You do the
that's-
munichoir with the s'il vous plaît,
Mhm.
mise en place,
Yep.
and then you add the noodles, and then you can't forget the garnish.
Yep.
With,
We're breaking out
with,
all the French
with
terms.
Little,
I can't tell if any of this is,
Is
bullshit.
garnish
I feel like,
Then you
garnish a
surrender.
French term?
I feel like half of that was bullshit.
it was.
Okay,
I have no
cool.
idea what I'm talking about. I know mise en place just means like everything in its place,
But
and that's what you do before you cook. That's about it,
Mise
and
en
that's because I
place?
learned that from Julia Child.
Oh god, he's getting the cookbook out. The chef book.
He's got Twilight, but it says the professional chef instead.
Like, what the fuck?
I want to read that.
All right. So on the topic of Twilight, real quick.
Please, God, no.
Twilight is actually a
Dog shit.
hilarious comedy.
They kind of are, but why do they have like just to-go cups in their house when they let Bella drink the blood? Why do they just have plastic styrofoam to-go cups?
My grandparents collect McDonald's cups, and when I went to visit them in Louisiana, I opened their cupboard, and it was just full of like McDonald's cups. Some of them were super old, some of them I could tell were new. I was like,
Yeah, but
I
like
feel like I shouldn't be here. Like,
I'm pretty sure I went.
collection.
just watch your grandparents. They're just like, better turn the fuck around right now.
you know, I'm like,
You did
At least
see
it's not
nothing.
like dolls or some shit like that.
My grandpa collects cookie jars.
Hell
That's
yeah.
sick.
His entire house is filled with them. On
That's
top of his
fucking sick.
fridge, he has like 10 that are just chickens.
Oh,
And they all look different. He has like the Harley Davidson pig on a motorcycle.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
He
yeah.
has like every animal you can think of. Because he told me he lives in Louisiana. He's like, there's nothing to do here except on Saturday nights I go to the auction. And that's when I do all my socializing. And
Hey, baby,
he just
wanna see
buys
my-
cookie jars.
I just like to imagine him, and that's his pickup line. Hey, baby, want to see my cookie jar collection?
Oh, God.
All right.
It's always like grandparents because like my grandpa collects like a bunch of Denver Broncos like memorabilia and just like accessories and like merch. So like it's to the point where when I was a little kid, his bedroom had so much Bronco stuff in it that we called it the Bronco room, and it's still called that to this day.
So are we looking for like a hearty broth?
Sick.
Those are all the... Here, I'm
He's
showing
got a bunch
you
of
guys
cocks.
the chicken.
Whoa.
He's got a bunch of cookie
all
jars,
the
dude.
cocks.
Whoa.
Like, I
My
was not
God.
playing. His entire house is like
That's
filled
sick.
with them.
That's
Roosters,
so
by the
fucking
way.
cool.
Yeah, no, he has like every freaking cookie jar you could imagine.
Oh,
I was
I remember
like,
what I was gonna say.
are you okay?
I'm pretty sure I was at my girlfriend's house and we went through like a bunch of old cups that she has, and one of them was like those old collectible McDonald's cups that are radioactive.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Oh shit.
No,
I'm
because
pretty-
what were they made with, like lead or something?
Radium, probably.
I think so. It was something like that.
Are they like glow in the dark?
Plutonium-335.
And I'm pretty sure it was one of those collectible ones. I think so.
All right, so I found it. So for a meat or poultry broth using water, so 1 gallon, 10 pounds of meat or poultry including bones, 5 quarts of cool liquid, a pound of standard mirepoix, and one. Oh, it wasn't the bouquet garni. It was the sachet. Sachet.
Sachet? What are you talking
Sachet.
Sachet.
De spices. So,
Sachet de spices.
Sachet away.
so
Oh, it's a sachet of spices. Got it.
yeah. So basically,
Say less.
you. If I still remember how to do this, you
Salsa
get
spice.
not wax paper. I'm trying to remember what it is, but it's like a cloth, and then you
Cheesecloth.
tie it. Cheesecloth.
Mm-hmm.
So you take the cheesecloth and you put like full grounds of pepper and like you put like garlic and
So you're just making meat tea.
herbs. Pretty much.
Yeah, it's a bunch of full spices that you put in cheesecloth, and then you.
That is like the
what you're talking
most
Boil it, yeah.
disgustingly accurate.
Wait,
like,
what did you say? What did you say?
Broth,
tea.
broth is just meat tea.
He's just.
Yum.
Could you imagine you're just dunking your chicken and just whole ass
Your
chicken?
chicken's in a tea bag, and you're just like dipping it in water.
People just straight up drink broth. So I mean, it's just meat tea.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's good when you're sick.
Yeah.
I never thought about it that way.
Yeah. My secret for whenever
Kinda
I'm
hate it.
sick and I need to clear out everything is I just eat a lot of spicy things. Most people
That's what I'm saying.
like think I'm weird
No,
because
I
like
love it.
I'll be on my deathbed and I'll just be there with like some buffalo wings.
My voice teacher told me about like this really weird recipe when I was having like a lot of congestion.
Mm-hmm.
Onion tea.
Ew.
Huh.
Yeah. And I tried it, and let me just tell you, not only did my stomach hurt, but I like had the worst breath I've ever had. And like
Ew.
it honestly didn't taste as bad as I thought it would, but just like the concept of it, you know? Like
Standard.
yeah, it just like made my house reek of onion.
Ugh.
I reeked of onion. The next day I was sweating and I was like, oh my God, like I can still smell it. Like it's in my blood,
All of a
it's in my
sudden-
veins. I didn't finish it.
All of a sudden, everybody's just like crying in the room around you. They're like, "Oh my god, what's happening?"
Sorry,
Great.
guys.
That's my bad. I had onion tea yesterday.
So, voice teacher seems like a great segment for. Want to do your live set?
I
These segues.
suppose so.
All right.
Plug.
Oh, it's live?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's gonna do like a live set.
So if I fuck up,
Yeah.
Oh, you're playing.
yeah,
I thought this was
okay.
like
I
a
thought you were like
separate
gonna
bit.
plug
that's
like.
why I'm here.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, we could like record it and put it in later, but like, what's the fun in that?
Yeah,
way she
there's
gets,
no
like-
pressure.
To be fair, I'm not told anything.
Yeah, no. I was just
well-
told like an hour ago that you're gonna be here. So
Well, so like, well, I mean, like that's part of the fun of this show, though, is you don't know what you're gonna get until you
just the
get
complete
here.
and utter fucking
'Cause-
chaos of everything. It's great.
Yeah.
Precisely. Because 1 second you might think, okay, we're going to be talking about this. And then 10 seconds later, you're talking about meat tea. So you never
Yeah,
know.
it's gonna go from silly to like melancholy real quick. My apologies.
Oh, that's
Sweet.
okay. That's another day at a
That's
distinguished
the
conversation.
nature of music.
Oh, yeah. So I'm trying to figure out how we can set this up. I mean,
Yeah.
you're right there. So just adjust the stool to however you want.
Should I grab my mic and move it over there? Do you want to
Um,
like turn it off for a sec?
Actually, we might have.
Very well thought through and prepared, by the way.
Indeed.
Oh yeah, Marcos.
You know what
What
we're
we
doing.
might do is we might have you two swap for a second.
Nope.
So
Okay.
I've kind of grown
cool.
fond
That's cool.
of this mic.
okay, well,
No, I'm kidding. It doesn't matter.
the only reason I say that is because we can adjust that one to your height over there
Yeah.
in comparison to that one, which we can't really do that. So
Oh, don't fall.
my water,
I'm just kidding. You're good.
His Sprite.
No, the Sprite's empty.
Okay.
not the Sprite.
That's good.
Was there anything in the other cup?
I just realized.
Was there like a? Okay. Oh, that's where it is. Got it.
All right, and I will Go over here. Just let me know whenever you want the bass on.
Paschetti.
That's not it. Is that the
That's
button?
what I call it when words get super tangled up everywhere. It's spaghetti with no butter.
Sweet.
Sticking together.
That's what she said.
Oh?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
That's what I'm saying.
Alright.
That's what I'm saying.
You guys should keep talking.
Yeah, we should. Okay, so
So Clone High episode 2. We watched.
do you have like a Spotify or anything that you want to plug?
So I'm gonna plug my Instagram and my TikTok.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm currently working on producing my first singles, but I had to wait till I got my fancy new laptop because I was working with super out of date equipment. And I'm picky, and I want my stuff to sound nice. So
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna put out stuff that like you could hear the fuzz. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha.
I can always record for you.
But that's true, and I'll probably hit you up for that.
Tell shizzle.
You can follow me on socials. My Instagram and TikTok are at KBORVH, as in Kassandra, A as in apple. Wait, it's B.
Yeah.
Why did I say
All of
A?
a sudden she goes through the
K
entire
is in
alphabet.
Cassandra, B is in Bora, A, O as in orange, R as in red, V as in vector, H as in happy.
So is it Bora or is it Borf?
So I kind of just got used to everybody saying Borv, but like the way you actually say my last name is Bora.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It just looks cooler because of the upside down A, right?
Yeah, basically I just copied like Paris or Purvis or any of those other bands that use a V instead of an A.
Okay.
Also, this is not very loud. I can barely hear myself.
You can barely hear yourself.
The bass.
The
Oh,
bass.
bass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see what I can do.
This
Gonna
needs
change
to
it up a
be
little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know how to use mic stands. They should have taught me that in music school.
Perhaps.
That's one of like the very few things that you'd think they would.
I know, right?
So actually, with that one, you're gonna want to use the side of the mic rather than that top part.
Like this?
No.
Yeah.
So,
Like this?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how you're gonna get nice and crispy. Try the bass now.
That's better. Still kind of quiet.
That's about as loud as I can get it.
That's totally fine. I'll make it work. So this song was actually inspired by The Little Mermaid, which I know sounds like super cringy, and it totally is, because like my dad's moving to Florida, and that's why I was in Florida with him like a month ago. They're moving this week. I'm really sad because like my dad is my best friend, and like we just kind of like grew up together. My mom was like kind of like doing her own thing for a while, so it was really just like me and my dad. So I've been really emotional about the fact that like pretty soon I'm not going to be around him anymore, because I'll be moving to Chicago and he's going to be in Florida. So I went and saw The Little Mermaid, and like the whole movie is about like a father-daughter relationship, and like she's growing up and moving on and like going on her own path, and the dad just kind of has to accept it. And so I was just sitting there like the whole time like, I am emotional, and I cried by myself.
Could be that way.
I don't care. Like, I enjoyed the movie. It was really good. But the song is called Treasure Cove. Yeah. I guess Marcus doesn't get to hear it.
Yeah.
Everything is changing. It's all happening so fast. I'm I'm trying to hold on to my life in the past. I'm not so little anymore. I know that when it rains it pours. My life has been a treasure cove of moments that I can't let go. But when it's time, you know. When it's time, you know. And now I'm swimming in the sea. I see you looking right at me. I'm not so little anymore. Soon I'll wash up on the shore and feel my toes stick in the sand. I'm no longer holding your hand, but I know that you're there for me, even if our eyes can't meet. To you I'll always be the daughter of Triton, king of the sea. Everything is changing, it's all happening so fast. I'm trying to hold on to my life in the past. But when it's time, you know. Oh, it's time, I know. I'm not so little anymore. Where's my applause? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, thank you. I'm ready for the big crowds. Yeah, it's very melancholy. I don't know. I've been like emotional about moving. I have a lot of good friends here and like a ton of good memories. My whole life up until this point has been here. So I'm kind of like, dang, I'm really going to have to like start from zero. Like, I'm not going to know anybody.
It'd be that way sometimes.
But I don't know. I've been feeling like good grief about it. Yeah. Like, I have a reason to miss this place.
I like that.
Definitely,
good grief and not in the Charlie Brown way. That's
yeah.
That's fun.
Positive grief.
So how many more you got for us?
I'm just doing 2 today.
Just 2?
Yeah, I mean...
Not doing one of those Foo Fighters sets where it goes on for 2.5 hours.
And then do like 4 encores.
Yeah.
I thought I'd keep it simple and sweet.
All right, next time.
Like, come on, let's get it over with. I probably should have like wrote a fun song for this because this is like super depressing.
I feel like 90% of the music I listen to is depressing, so it's all good.
Yeah, but it can be like depressing with like a fun bass line.
Yeah.
It's my favorite songs.
You know,
the fun depressing
not
ones.
necessarily
Dude,
that.
I love the songs where the lyrics make me want to cry and hurt myself, but the music is just like stupid upbeat and happy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is not going to be one of those. This song is called I Don't Know How to Be Alone because that's just like a fact. Like whenever I'm by myself, that's when I get sad. Like I get my energy from being around my people. So
It's valid.
when I'm like in my room by myself, I'm like, this is depressing. So that's what this song is about. Yeah, I'm just going to start now.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
I simply can't exist without a lover. simply can't exist within myself. I've always been too invested in everything outside my mental hell. I don't know how to be alone without crumbling like a statue turned to dust. And it's so cold in my made-up world that I created to protect myself. Teach me how to be. Remind me how to breathe. I can't feel anything except everything. I've already messed up.
It's okay. We didn't notice.
I did.
You were also laughing.
That's the beauty of a live performance.
That's what I'm saying. We wouldn't
natural.
notice if
You
didn't sing.
wouldn't like the person I am behind closed doors, so I lock it every time just to be sure that she'll never see the darkness in me, the ways that I'm unholy and impure. I don't know how to be alone without crumbling like a statue turned to dust. And it's so cold in my made-up world that I created to protect myself. Teach me how to be. Remind me how to breathe. I can't feel anything except everything. I can't feel anything except everything. I don't know how to sing with a mic and a bass at the same time.
It's hard to sing and play.
It is. Well, I'm like, I know how to do this, and then I'm like, where are my hands? I can't see my hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking down, and then I'm like, oh shit, the mic isn't picking me up as well.
For real.
Yeah, no, that's so like in one of the first bands I was in, I sang and I played drums, and for whatever reason, it always helped me sing to play an instrument. But if it's vice versa, where like I'm only singing or only playing a guitar or like drums or whatever, like, well, if I'm only playing an instrument, I'm fine. But if I'm only singing, it's worse.
Really?
But as long as I have an instrument, I tend to do better. I don't know. It's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like I sing better when I'm not playing drums.
Really?
But it's also hard because a lot of the songs that I sing on and play drums on, the drums are hard to split from. Because like whenever you play and sing, you need to know how to split one from the other and just mindlessly do one while focusing on the other. And the songs that we do when we perform, where it needs backup vocals, I need to focus on the drums at some parts, I need to focus on the vocals at some parts, and I need to figure out how to jump between one and the other.
Yeah, that's true. We tend to not do
It's a battle.
easy songs
Yeah.
for that sort of stuff, though.
Yeah,
Yeah. Anyways,
but it makes you better.
Yeah, that was Miss Kassandra.
that's
Yeah.
me. Follow me. KBORVH.
Borv.
Borv.
Kaborv.
Kaborv.
Kabor.
Don't forget the H.
Kaborv.
Don't worry. We'll plaster you all over the social medias everywhere.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I deserve.
Indeed.
We're just gonna just everywhere. Everybody, make sure to what is it? Tag,
Follow,
follow.
Yes.
You're just
like and subscribe.
You're just gonna see nonstop K-Borv for like the next 3 months.
At least the next week.
Yeah.
I mean, you're lucky if so. Okay.
And then back to the podcast setting. I'm trying to think. We've got to have some kind of wrap up topic.
New Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Actually,
I was just gonna follow up with more music stuff.
Oh.
Because I know you guys have talked a lot about like how you've done live performances. Like, do you guys have like a special like one that you have enjoyed the most, or like has it just been like a gradual like up and coming type thing? Or
I got a couple.
I mean, it depends for me. I feel like I enjoy everyone for different reasons.
Mhm.
But I feel like as a musician, it's hard to like walk away from a performance and not just be like, damn, I could have done this better.
Yeah.
Or I could
Yeah.
have done that better. And like a lot of my teachers, especially like, sorry.
You're good.
Um,
I thought I was gonna fall for a
Roberto.
second.
Yeah.
Roberto, that's
Gotta
my
love
guy.
Roberto.
He always told me like you have to learn to enjoy it in the present moment and afterwards instead of like beating yourself up for your mistakes. And I think that's the hardest thing for me because I'm a perfectionist, like through and through. That's why I want to like make music so I can like sit in front of a computer for as long as I want.
Yeah.
And just pick at it until it's perfect.
Hell yeah.
That's always the part that stresses me out. And I tend to leave a lot of like mistakes in my stuff just to kind of remind myself that I'm not perfect.
I mean,
Right.
mistakes
Yeah.
can be good. There's a lot of
Oh, yeah.
mistakes in like professional recordings that
Oh,
just
yeah.
like kind of make the tape.
I think one of the first like ever recorded as in like in history was the guitar solo for Hound Dog. That was one of the first ones where people were like, okay, you can leave mistakes in music, because the guitar solo, he actually messed up on it, but they liked how it sounded better. I believe it was the guitar player wanted to go back and redo it, but they were like, no, that sounds great, leave it.
Yeah.
Mistakes can be beautiful.
Oh, yeah. How about you, Marcos? What's a fond memory of performing?
Honestly, all of them. Was that what you were asking? Is like fond memories, or like which one? If you have one performance you like better than the others?
All of the above.
Yeah, I like performing
give us
with
content.
a lot of people.
So the first CMRA show, which was
80s time?
it was the 80s one. That was my first time performing outside of a school setting, which is weird because like it was still involved with the school, but it was like it wasn't classical programmed music. Like it was it was all pops music. Like it was all popular music. It was all music that came on like on the radio. So it was stuff that I had played, because like I'd played like popular music before. Like what's the word for that? Pops music?
Secular?
I guess.
Secular? I don't know about secular.
I don't know.
The opposite of what you're looking for, actually.
Like just like that popular music. I've played that before in like
contemporary.
Yeah.
contemporary music.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I've played like contemporary music in a school setting before, but that was like jazz band where you did like Fly Me to the Moon in high school.
Yeah.
But like
It was your teacher's decision.
yeah,
Right.
it was a difference between that and like having some like classmate say, I want to do this song, I want you to play this, I want you to play this, I want you to play this, and I actually sat down, learned the song on my own without sheet music, figured out how to play it, figured out the structure of the song, how I was going to fit with the band, how the band was going to fit with the singer. Like it was my first time legitimately being in a band.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to be one of my favorite performances, just because it was my first time doing it, and it was my realization that I could. Because honestly, I was in like this big creative rut before that performance, where I was like, I feel like I'm just going to be doing this all the time. I want to perform, but I don't know if I can. But that's simply because I had never had the chance to.
Right.
Or I did have the chance to in the past, and things didn't work out, and I wasn't able to.
Yeah.
But this was like my first time being in a band, my first time being able to like sing, being able to perform, not on a like programmed school event.
Yeah.
So that's probably my favorite so far.
And on that same note, have you guys noticed like a difference, like either just like energy wise or just overall enjoyment, like between what you did in college or even high school versus like what you're performing now?
Yeah, for sure. It feels like for those performances where it's like the CMRA performances where people are taking like contemporary music and covering it, people like it's always a song that really resonates with a person, and so they put emotion into it. And it's more than just your teacher saying, I want you to perform this song because I like it and because it's gonna fit well in the program.
It's a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
It actually has more intent than just a song that I'm performing for the people who are coming to this school show. Yeah, I think for me, like, the first time I really realized that, like, I wanted to pursue music.
Speaking the top of the mic.
Yeah.
The top of the mic?
Yeah, that one's weird.
Because like it's an actual
I
mic,
think
so you
it's
can't speak
falling
to the side.
over.
It is.
I think so too.
Okay, this is
much
better?
Much better.
Okay, sorry
like
guys, I'm
spin it
just
around
gonna
a little
hold
bit?
it like this. So I got the idea for the Contemporary Music and Recording Arts Club at a performance at Monica House, and I had set up like my first show by myself. I'd done like 2 performances solo.
Okay.
And solo performances are okay, but it's a lot of pressure. I like performing with a band better. And so I made a couple friends and who were musicians, and I was like, hey, I think it would be really cool if we put a show together. I'd never done something like that before, and so I didn't really know what the outcome of it was going to be, but we decided on a y'alternative theme.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so we did like emo country music basically. And it was really fun. We had people show up who like dressed up y'alternative and like it was just like my first time being able to like bring people together and actually like draw a crowd. I didn't think I was capable of that, but you know, when you involve more people in it, when you have like a full band, all the people who support them come out, and it was really cool. I like cried after that show on the way home because I was like, I just did something cool. Like I didn't know I was capable of that. So that's probably like my favorite memory. Awesome. And it created like CMRA. So
Hell yeah.
Very cool. How about you, Caleb? You got any?
So really my only thing that even comes close to what you guys have been doing with CMRA and your own like solo stuff is doing barbershop with the Smorgasbords. And it's a whole different type of performance when we like I always pushed really hard for us to do songs that we enjoyed. There was always kind of a thing from the college that like we need to do stuff that fits within the theme, fits within like what we need to do, that kind of thing. I'm sure you guys are all fully aware of that.
Yep.
It's all got to fit a script.
Yeah, exactly. So I found that as long as I had the script about a year beforehand, I could go through and find like 4 or 5 different barbershop songs that would fit that script and pitch them, and they'd be songs that we actually enjoy. And I think it's definitely a noticeable difference for the audience, I think, at least from the feedback that I got. So like for our very last show, Ebb Tide was one that I'd been pushing for since the end of my freshman years at
so you were ready.
Yeah, I was ready for that
song.
Like,
this song.
Which that was for me, that was one of the highlights of the show. I remember hearing that and like kind of like crying on the inside.
Yeah.
Like, this is
Cry
beautiful.
on the outside next time. It's okay.
Let
it out.
No, it's more a matter of like I can't. Trust me, if I could have, I would have.
I don't
physically
have
unable.
tear ducts, actually.
No, this is the
I had my tear ducts
Yeah.
removed actually.
yeah. We talked about
Oh,
it in the
man.
Star Wars episode.
But yeah, no. So like, the other thing with barbershop is there's a whole community, especially around smorgascords, that is around it. Like there's a men's adult barbershop choir that I think they meet like every Mondays. That's called the Smorgas Chorus, and they're a bunch of smorgascord alums that got together for Smack's like 50th year anniversary or something like that. And they all sang, I think, the national anthem or a song of some sort to her. And then they just kind of like realized that, hey, this is really fucking fun. We miss singing.
Yeah.
And then they made this barbershop quartet, or not even quartet, barbershop choir, which is just singing barbershop music in a large choir setting. It's kind of strange, but it's really cool to listen to.
I'm sure the community is fun.
It
like,
is. It's
especially
really cool.
people who all used to do it, like getting to come back to that and like bond with people over it. That's the fun part about music for me, at least.
Definitely. Like going back and like reliving stuff. It's great.
Yeah, like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Playing that in 5th grade on my violin.
I don't know why, but Pirates comes up a lot on this podcast.
It really does.
Yeah,
It's
it really
because you are Johnny Depp reincarnated.
I try.
But he's not dead.
Yeah.
Is he?
His soul feels dead.
Yeah.
Ever
Poor
since that
dude.
5th one. Yeah. Oh, tragic Amber Heard. Actually, you had mentioned something about when you did the alternative show, how you brought a crowd in. And so one of my favorite memories of when I've played live was I had done a show at the Donut Hole, and I remember like putting out flyers, posting, hey, I'm going to be doing this, and not thinking anyone would come. And then I think it was the first night, like everybody from Headliners came. Like pretty much everyone. Yeah, I think you were there, weren't you?
I wasn't able to make it to that one. I was out of town
what a
for that
loser.
one. I know, right? I felt so fucking bad.
But like I remember like most everybody was there, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't think anybody would be here, and it made me feel special. I played handful of originals, a couple Weezer songs, and then I was like, hey, any songs y'all want? And they had said, hey, why don't you play this Headliner song, kind of as a joke. And then I did, and they were like, oh my god, he actually still remembered it. And everybody started doing their dance parts, and it was
Oh my gosh.
it was really fun. We were just in this donut shop at 9 o'clock at night, just doing a
A full
number.
Headliners
Oh, yeah.
number.
Hell yeah.
That's sick.
So that was very fun. The other two, I mean, when we toured up for emo night, or not emo, but early 2000s, 90s night at Monica House, that was great. Breaking a String on House of Wolves. And,
Oh yeah.
Taking that song at Mach speed.
yeah, that was
For real.
a lot of fun. And
How many strings did you break that last year?
so there was the
There was the one show where you broke two in the
Pretty
same show.
impressive.
Did I?
Wasn't it the first show of our last year?
Well, because I remember I broke a string on, I think it was the Jazz Master during my solo on the girls number.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also broke a string on my solo for guys number, or not the solo on the guys number, but we had like an intermission piece, and we just did guys number basically, and I broke a string
Went
there.
a little too hard.
Probably
During
about
the
3 or
intermission?
4.
Yeah, they had.
That's actually impressive.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So we had, we
The whole
had,
intermission was basically just Miguel's guitar solo.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
it was like a minute long solo, I think, because y'all needed like an extra 30 seconds or something to change on top of like the 30 seconds that they usually get. So they were like, what do we do? And they said, I got an idea, you just wail. And I was like, I was thinking about, I was like, thinking about it. I was like, how long does Mary Has a Little Lamb? How long is that? And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to come up with something more than that. So I had a little bit of an idea for a solo, but then I just kind of had to make up stuff on the spot, like
Yeah.
mid-set each time. And
Little
then
improv.
for girls number, I pretty much it was a similar chord progression, so I used some of the same solo aspects and then kind of come up with different things on the spot. I'm like, well, let's see how this sounds, and if it doesn't sound terrible, we'll keep doing it, and if it sounds terrible, do it 4 times over, and that way everyone thinks what you're doing is correct.
There you go.
Repetition is key.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So yeah, probably about like 4 strings, and then I broke a cable on like one of our second to last set. So
How do you break a cable?
Like an X.
So I was plugging in Black Leslie. That's my Les Paul, and anyone who has a Les Paul or who's played one knows they are notorious for being heavy. Well, the strap came off on the bottom half of the guitar while I was plugging in.
God.
So I plugged in, and it basically landed on the cable, and the cable snapped. So Bryce broke a stick in like the set before. I broke a cable, and so those are just kind of the casualties of that last set. And all those key changes.
Yeah, all those fucking key changes.
At
all
least
the
it
key
was the
changes.
last one.
Yeah. Because I remember actually Bailey Cosby. I don't know if any of y'all know him, but shout out to Bailey. He and his brother Levi were like, "Is your guitar okay?" And I was like, they were like, "Yeah, it was noticeable when it fell."
Oops.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, good performance stories are that first set that we played at Butler. I remember, so I hate everybody still to this day, but when I first started going to Butler, I hate 3 things in particularly: people, new environments, and show choir. So when I was introduced to all of that, I wasn't having a good time. And so I remember me and Bryce in particularly, we didn't necessarily get along with each other because he was doing the same thing that I was doing, where we can't really play because we can't really hear ourselves, and we were learning dynamics still and trying to gel with each other, but we already didn't like each other, so it was just a bad circumstance all around. And after that first show where we could really get loud and let loose a little bit, I remember he came up to me afterwards and he was like, "Hey, you sound good." And I looked at him and I said, "You too." And then we've been pretty chill ever since.
I remember walking up to you on like the first or the second day of school and like introducing myself because you walked around playing a guitar, and I was like,
It's a nervous tick. Yep.
I need a guitar player. And
Yep.
so I just walked up to you and I was like, "Hi, my name is Cassandra." And you looked terrified. You were like, "Why are you talking to me?"
Well, yeah, because I wasn't used to people talking to me.
I'm not shy.
I actually still have, you sent me like a demo thing and you were like, "I need guitar," and I remember working on something for it, and I just
and then you never got back to me.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Because
It's okay.
Yeah.
You came back and like saved my ass for the first CMRA show.
I remember you came up and you were like, "Hey, you want to learn 18 songs on the fly?" And I was like, "Sure."
I mean, you did it, and you did a kick-ass job. Thank you again.
I remember like the one that I was excited for was "Hit Me With Your Best Shot" because I already knew the solo
And that
for
one
that.
got canceled.
Yeah.
You can blame Dom for that one. I think it was her singing it.
Freaking Dom.
I don't know. I don't remember. I just played.
It's been
man.
a while. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. And for me, I think if I had one last really fun memory of playing live, it was actually like our last set that we played at Butler. So we actually didn't have a full music run through until our first set.
Yeah, no, we didn't. For
Because
some reason.
every time we would rehearse a song, we would stop and work on vocalist or something, and so we never like actually just played through songs. So I had to like fake my way through 90% of that set, and I was like, "Oh God, it didn't sound terrible, but it didn't sound great." But every set after that kept progressively getting better. And I remember when we got to our last song, that was the only one that I really felt comfortable playing. The last song of that set, there was a part where I just kicked on the wah pedal and was doing the and then from there
I know the one.
I played the chord progression, and instead of like keeping with the chord progression, I just decided to do a random solo, and it fit.
Hell yeah.
And everyone just back in the pit, they were just like grooving and, as the kids say, vibing with it. And Bryce went to like a halftime swing type thing, and I was like, all right. And then like I just started wailing more, and then like we like crescendoed and just It was great.
What do they call it? Isn't that called the pocket? Where it goes-
Yeah, when you're in the pocket.
Yeah, sure. Whatever that means.
Sure.
I have pockets, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like when you and your drummer and the rest of the band just kind of like click.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
like everything is in sync.
Oh, yeah.
You find your pocket.
Yeah, we were in the pocket then. That's cool. There's a term for that.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
It's when you're like communicating by just looking at each
Yeah.
other and everything's working.
That's another thing that's not taught that I kind of just learned that I didn't know people don't just know is like being able to follow other musicians and knowing like when to play louder, when to get softer, when to follow the groove of the song, or like to follow a solo, or like just some random riff that you're playing on.
How to listen to other musicians while,
how to
while
follow.
also being conscious of your own playing.
Just listening to your fellow musicians in general seems like a hard concept.
It is actually.
like there.
Fuck y'all, I want to listen to myself. Like, I'm so concentrated half the time, like when I'm playing instruments, and then I'm like, oh wait, there's other people around me. Like, I need to be conscious of how I sound with everybody else.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Like now when I go into like a rehearsal space, I try and turn down a lot more than I need to. But
No, you don't.
actually, believe it or not, I do.
Well, I guess maybe it's just because, like, I didn't rehearse with you, like, outside of just the Kansas room.
Yeah, no, that room's also terrible. And so like, but I remember during the early 2000s set, there were a lot of times we were like, especially during the auditions, they were like, hey, can you turn up? And I was just trying to hear what it was that I was playing. I was like, oh, thank God I can turn up.
Yeah.
There were a handful of times, but yeah, no, once I do get to like a loud point, that's where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna stay here and hope that I'm not playing too loud, and I am. It's fun.
I don't know. I think you find the groove pretty well. I think
That's
it's just like in rehearsal that you get carried away sometimes because you be like soloing and doing all this stuff, and then I'm like, can we start the song? You and Tyler will get into all three of you. I like adore you guys, but sometimes I'm just like, okay, we have to actually rehearse. We can't just do covers of every song we know.
My favorite when we record the little test demo for Noise Candy is just at the beginning where I'm like, hey, chill out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's
you hear
so
that?
representative. Yeah.
Okay, you have. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, it's so representative of what it's like to be in a rehearsal with you guys. But it's a lot of fun.
Then I don't have it. We have to. I think
What?
Miguel has it.
Show me the demo at some point.
Oh, yeah. I'll show
Definitely.
it to you later.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
We have a show soon. Should we plug that?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. This is the place for plugs. We have like 20 listeners, but
So, July, is it 19th?
13th. Don't even know the date of your own show.
Anyways,
So on July 13th, which is a Thursday at Monica House.
it's actually for Monica Fest, so it's a festival kind of deal. So all day they're going to be having musicians. I'm not sure what time our set is at yet.
That's always fun.
But we're doing one set under Borv, and then Noise Candy is doing their own 30-minute set.
Yeah.
Which we kind of need to talk about
Yeah,
the rest of my
yeah,
set,
yeah,
but we
yeah.
can do that.
That,
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff planned.
We got a lot
Yeah,
of
we
stuff
also have a
planned.
gig at Chicken and Pickle in August.
hell yeah, let's go.
There's
I know.
That's so
We're
fucking
getting
sick.
paid.
A paid gig. Holy.
I know. I'm like, money as a musician?
That's the first time you ever make money while playing an instrument. You're like, oh my God, this is a viable
I
option.
saved
For real.
my check from Ingram from playing at the church. That was the first time I'd ever made money as a
Yeah.
musician, and it's on my wall.
Nice.
Because I was like, this is good luck. I'm going to keep this forever.
Hell
Like
yeah.
Mr. Krabs with his $1 bill.
Be that way.
Except it was like a $25 check.
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Hey, that's
$25,
money.
You take
$25.
what you
You're
get.
like,
That's what I'm saying.
I was
paid-
there for an hour, you
I-
know? It's pretty
$25
good.
bucks an hour. Fuck
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, I paid for my gas to get there and back.
Seriously, because all the way from El Dorado to Maze. Yeah. But it was worth it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's actually a good segue.
Yeah.
So
Segue to what?
to
Segue to-
ending this.
Yeah. Okay.
To being
so cool.
done.
No, we got
Being
10 minutes. No.
Finished. Done.
No,
Well,
we're
are
not
we gonna
doing.
do the thing where we say we're gonna end it,
Finito.
but keep
No,
talking about how
we're-
we're gonna end it for
I
the
mean,
next 10
we're-
minutes?
Well, we're trying to get better at the goodbyes, so
We
we're
are.
trying to not do another Kansas goodbye. And that's where
The oldie Midwest goodbye.
you slap the knee and you're like, well, folks,
Well, all right, it's time for us
Hit the
to
dusty
go ahead and end
trail.
our podcast here.
thanks for tuning in to another
It's
episode.
good to see you guys again. Good to.
So good to have Caleb and
Oh
Marcus.
yeah, how
in the
the kids doing?
Yeah, the kids doing fine. You want to crack open a cold one, and then we'll
Yeah.
talk here for another
Pack of
half an hour.
smokes.
Oh, yeah.
Go outside.
We'll go
Watch the sunset.
watch the sunset in the field.
Yeah.
We can bring the pup.
You can bring the pup.
You can bring the dog.
The dog. El dog.
But yeah, go follow at K-Borv on
Borv.
Instagram, Chapsnap, and
KBOR.
all of that good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's also my
HV?
Snapchat. So
BH?
yeah,
And then-
KBORVH.
Oh.
At me.
And then you can listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, and we're trying to get on the other ones, but they're substantially harder to get on. But yeah, this has been another fun, exciting episode of A Distinguished Conversation. We'll be back here next week with hopefully more Caleb and maybe not Marcos. I don't know. We'll see
Yeah.
if he keeps.
We'll figure out how I'm feeling.
We'll see.
We'll see. I'll let you. We'll pass that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, actually, I want to see about. Well, we'll talk about that later. But yeah,
Indeed.
go follow us on there, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.